Hi everyone and welcome back to Purple Heart Woodturning. Today's video is going to be a project fail video. Unfortunately this one doesn't quite go to plan, but you'll see why at the end of the video. So this one was going to be a coloured pencil and resin pot. So currently stacking all of the ends of the coloured pencils into the mould. So once all these are put in, I can then put the resin on top. So there are all of the pieces of pencil into the pot, so I've really tried to wedge those in as much as possible. I've never done a pot or a piece with pencils stacking them this way, so this should be really interesting. I think the only time I've done it similarly is with the magnifying glass I did a little while ago, but this is a much larger scale piece. So the next thing to do, I've got to work out which colour resin I want to go for. I've got plenty to choose from here in the box, so we're going to have a little sift through now, see which one we want to go with. So I always do blue, so I think I'm going to automatically discount the blues. Not sure what colour I was thinking for this one. I've got the Arctic Pearl, maybe a little bit of copper. Could go black, but I'm not sure. Ooh, orange could be quite fun. What else we got? We've got a little bit of red, some gold, silver. We haven't done silver for a while. Could do silver. I mean, hot pink. Problem is, hot pink is very Ooh, purple. Purple could be a good shout. In fact, I've got two different purples. Let's do a 50-50 blend of purple. Ooh, actually, I'll tell you what we could do. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put all these away. And we're going to go... So what I'm going to go with half of this lovely amethyst purple. It's quite a nice rich purple, quite a deep colour. We've got half of the lighter purple. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a 50-50 pour, and I think we're also going to add into it a little bit of silver. So we're going to do half silver, half purple pour, and then I think we'll do a little bit of a crossover, so we'll have kind of, if I get that back into focus. So I'm probably going to go purple this side, silver this side, and then do a little bit of a swirly mix. A little bit of a shake, not a huge amount, and we should have a very distinctive purple area, silver area, and then a beautiful blend in the middle. I think that might work really well. So next thing to do, let's get the resin put into the cups with the 50-50, and then we'll add the pigments. So the resin's been left for a couple of days to cure and just popping it out of the mould. So having a look at the blank itself, it's got that lovely two-tone colourway. A couple of the pencils have escaped, they've gone a little bit above the resin level, and there you can see on the left hand side a couple of them have actually fallen onto their side. So the next thing to do is mark up the centre. We're going to cut off those little bits and pieces, and then we can get it mounted onto the lathe to start turning. So that is the bowl shape turned, just doing a little bit more work on the foot, but you can see that lovely light line between the chuck and the blank itself, where you've got that layer of resin and then you've got all those coloured pencils. So the lightness is actually coming from the wood of the colour pencils, and then we're turning down into the base. Going to put a nice little groove in the bottom so that once it's finished I can flip it over and we can mount it on the other side to turn out the inside of the bowl. So just applying a nice coat of sanding sealer, that keeps the wood nice and sealed, and then after that I'll put a very generous amount of wax on there, and that'll give it a beautiful shine and luster. So there we have the bowl flipped over onto the other side. Now I'm going to start cutting into the front edge. So we're going to start on the actual rim of the bowl, and then once the rim is nice and smooth, I'll then start channeling down into the actual bowl itself to create that lovely concave shape. So it's around this point that I know something's not quite right. One of the little pieces of pencil had actually popped out of the back of the bowl blank. I thought it wasn't too bad, it was just a singular piece, and that I could sand it through and then just re-glue it into the bottom. So it's around this moment that something goes wrong. So what I've done is I over tighten it in the chuck, and actually the blank splits in two. When I remove it from the chuck and then look at it in depth, some of the central pieces fall out and it ends up with this big hole in the core. The reason for this is that the colour pencils were just too closely compacted, so there wasn't enough space for the resin to get in between. And then of course as it's opened they've all fallen out, so kind of glad this happened now and not after I'd gifted it to someone or sold it to someone at a fair and then it fell apart. I'd rather it happened here on the lathe and I can learn from the mistakes of the video. So this is a fail. It's one of the very few fails that I have, but I thought best to put it into the video and show you all. Next video coming out in 2 weeks time is going to be a wooden project. No chance of the resin failing on that one, and as you can see there's a great big hole in the center, and then I just decide to just rip it in half, and it rips with quite a lot of ease because there's very little resin holding those two pieces together. So hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I know it's a bit more unusual than the normal one, but yeah, stay safe, take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you in 2 weeks time for the next wood turning project.